What you'll be eating in Ecuador is rice. I hope you love rice because you'll eat it every single day, literally every single day. There'll be a few days maybe where you don't eat it, but every day you will eat rice. And when you get home, you'll actually miss the rice, which will surprise you because you didn't think you were ever going to miss rice again. But rice fills you up really well. You eat like a big meal at lunch, and that's darn near it. They have really tiny breakfasts and really tiny dinners. It's mostly just a giant meal of rice at lunch. With the rice, they have this thing called minestra, which is lentils. And for me, it was just a type of lentils that had absolutely no flavor. And they say that it's there to wet the rice. So just kind of put on the rice. And it does wet the rice, but it doesn't do anything else. It just didn't have much flavor. But it's healthy, and it's hard to get sick on that, so that's nice. And usually you'll have chicken. Chicken that maybe died from starvation. But yeah, the chicken for me was the best part of the meal. You just got to roll it in the rice and flavor up your rice, and it was nice. But that's the most typical meal in Guayaquil and most of Ecuador is chicken, rice, and minestra, or lentils. In Ecuador, in Guayaquil especially, on Saturdays for some reason, they all have this thing called encebollado. They all go to, it's kind of a soup, and it means kind of, the name kind of implies like onions, so it has a lot of onions in it, and it's just kind of the soup that they eat with fried plantain chips, and it's a breakfast food for them. And you'll have that. A lot of missionaries like that. I didn't particularly like it when I was there, but a lot of missionaries love it. The thing that I loved the most was called ceviche, and that's really hard to describe. You should probably go look it up because it's kind of a soupy dish, but it's not a soup, it's cold, and it's kind of a raw seafood type dish. My favorite was called ceviche mixto, and that had octopus, squid, shrimp, fish, like all of it in it, and I thought it was delicious because the seafood there is really fresh, so it's really tasty seafood. And turns out octopus and squid are also really tasty. I'd never had them before, but they are very, very tasty. And you also eat that with the plantain chips or popcorn, and you can put it over rice, and it's very tasty. I loved that. But you'll mostly be eating just kind of simple meals. Outside of Guayaquil, you tend to eat more fish instead of chicken, which can be nice to shake things up. But that's essentially what you'll be eating every day, is just kind of a variant of rice, chicken, and lentils. My favorite juice is pineapple juice. What you do is you get pineapple and you blend it up and you pour it in, mix it with some, yeah, don't even mix it with some water. You can put in some extract of vanilla and sugar. And that's the best juice I've ever had in my entire life. And it's absolutely amazing. They also have this thing called tomate de árbol, like tree tomatoes. And that kind of grows on you. Like, you start drinking it and it's not very good. But then later in your mission, you'll like have some at the dinner table and you'll be like, yes, this is delicious, and you'll just guzzle it down. They also have this thing called Pony Malta, which is kind of it's a malt drink. It's made by the beer company there. And it's non-alcoholic, but supposedly it tastes kind of like beer, but better. And I recommend drinking that because it's gross, but it's also like you find yourself craving it later on the more you have it. So it's kind of I don't know. It's a very satisfactory drink. Like, I remember one time we had a service project, and then it's like, let's go get some Pony Malta, yeah, and we drank it. And, it's good stuff. Except it's really, yeah. So it's just a lot of fun, different things to try down there.